Part of researching requires you to look at scholarly articles. All of us are most tempted just to do a random Google search, what can sometimes give us some really good sources. But I always want you to look for scholarly material as well. Unfortunately, here at CCR3, we don't have access to any of the databases that you might at larger schools, but we can still find quality pieces of information by going to Google Scholar. So if you just do a random Google search, start with Google Scholar. Okay. So Google Scholar, it will take you to this page. And what happens is here we are able to start searching for materials that have been vetted. And vetted means they have gone through a process of being investigated and read by other credible sources. And so the people who write these aren't just some random web designer or some random news writer who might be placing fake news out there for us to read. They have gone through a process to ensure that they are quality pieces of research. So I'm going to use my Google Scholar. I'm just going to focus on articles. I'm not doing anything with law, so I'm not going to choose that law feature. I'm going to do, however, a search here. This is where your keywords are going to come into play. So I'm going to start with human trafficking. That's my topic for this research. And when I start typing in human trafficking, I'm going to see that there are a number of ways that I can actually search human trafficking. The first way is coming up the way that I would spell it, but then you can see there are statistics, and then we can focus on in the United States, we can focus on the victims themselves. So I can even add trafficking here in Missouri if I wanted to. Not that I'm going to find anything, but lo and behold, right here at the top, I do get some information about human trafficking in Missouri. So as you're searching, please make sure that you pay attention to the search terms that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and open this source. Remember, if you are writing a annotated bibliography, anything that you look at should be included on that annotated bibliography. However, one of the things I want you to notice right off the bat is that this is 111 pages in length. Now, that should not scare you away from going ahead and looking at the text and to see if this is something that you want to go ahead and read through. One of the first things I will tell you is to go ahead and look at the contents. So there are specific regions that I could look at. So if I'm interested in Kansas City, let's say, I can go ahead and go to page 22, and this is going to take me to some information on the Kansas City area. And as I look through it, I'm going to see that there's information on Kansas City here. Also, because it's a PDF, I can do a find. And I know that there are 15 other locations that are mentioned within this paper. So I can search by that word and see what comes up. So again, if this is something that I want to go ahead and use, I can click in Google Scholar on the word cite, which is right underneath the information about the source. And you can see that I have my MLA option right here, and I can copy it and paste it into my notes and my annotated bibliography ultimately. Let's go ahead and look at human trafficking in the United States. Okay, this one is an understanding human trafficking in the United States. So I might want to go ahead and look at it to see if I can understand it a little bit. Now, a couple of things that's going to come up. I've got some other keywords here. Some modern day slavery might be another phrase that I could look at. I also see that there are some links to some organizations, and you may need to research an organization. And if that's the case, go ahead and take your time and look through some of those other sources. And this is in Australia, and I don't want to do that, but I can look at anti-slavery now that I can see modern day slavery in the United States. But these are all other articles that have been referenced. I may only be able to access the summary of or the abstract of the paper itself. It tells me here that there's additional information that I might be able to find it. Let me see if I can download, and then I can download the actual article. So the articles on Google Scholar are scholarly in nature. They have been published. They've been published elsewhere, and so you may need to take just a little extra time to try to locate it. It's not going to come up easily like a website. All right, so that's the first thing to remember about your Google Scholar. The second thing is that there are books on Google Scholar, which I'll talk about when we talk about books. But there will be some HTML, some websites that you can go to. And again, those contents will be here for you. If you cite anything on Google Scholar, remember to go back and click the citation and then copy the citation right here. Do this immediately. So when you are working on your note taking, the reason that at the very top of your notes it says source citation is so that you can place it there immediately. So I can immediately copy it and then paste it right here. Then I can read my source. Okay, so please use those features on your Google Scholar. Take your time. You can search, so you can create a custom range. If you'd like, you can just say in 2021. And I just want to search the last year. And I may not get very much, or that's what I get there. I can also choose any type. So review articles. I don't want review articles. I do want to include your citations so that you can click any of these and get your citation. So again, Google Scholar, super easy to maneuver. This one is a .gov, so it's probably going to be a good choice to look at. It is from the Journal of American Informatics in Health and Biomedicine. There is an abstract here, meaning it's going to give you the overview. There are more keywords, again, that I can look at and search for. It's going to tell us a little bit about the authors and where I can find the source. And I can click on it and look some more information about the source. Take your time searching for these articles. Some of them you're not going to be able to locate quickly and easily. Some of them you're going to think this is a great source, and then you actually find out that it is blocked or you don't have access to it because of where it's published. And if that's the case, don't panic. Come and talk to me, and I will help you through the process of finding something else if you can't find something else on your own. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. But weave your way through that Google Scholar and see what you can locate.